Liquor Talk. A brand new episode starts now. Welcome everybody to another edition of Liquor Talk. Fellas, this is the men's only round, but do not adjust your screens. Yes, there are some ladies on. We're taking on the fellas, the men's only round. We're going to get to those ladies in a minute. I'm your man, Victor, but I gotta open this episode by giving some flowers to my two gentlemen right here who both celebrated their birthdays in April. First up to the Taurus, Mr. Don B, man. I definitely appreciate you for everything you've done. Happy motherfucking birthday. You've included me in the things. Who thought we met on a damn Insecure review show? Now that's done turned into us men's only round. Now we're meeting in person, and now we plan to take over the world together, man. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you for inviting me, man. Making me feel like the family, man. I really had a ball with you, man. I appreciate it, man. So big love. And I hope to do it again whenever, you know what I'm saying? Now that you know I'm down the street, we're going to be doing more things together. I appreciate you, man. So happy fucking birthday. I hope you turn up some more.
Thank you. Thank you. It was an honor to have you in the house. I'm glad you got to make it. And it's just the beginning. We got bigger and better things to go. So
yes, sir.
It was a blessing to have everybody come, and we stuck around and had brunch afterwards, and it means a lot. So thank you for coming, and thank y'all for.
It's no problem, man. Like I said, once again, happy birthday. Now to the other man who celebrates his birthday in April is my man Juggy. I've known him for the longest, even before we started this podcasting thing. You joined the group. I joined the Florida Back single social group, thinking I'm gonna meet a lady, but you know what? Sometimes blessings
it's still
come
possible
when you need her. You
still
know what
possible.
I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't know I needed somebody, a man that wanted to be a part of the podcast thing. I know he was doing his thing, but guess what? He done stepped up, man, big time. He done became a co-captain of Liquor Talk. He done did it all. Yeah, he's been consistent with us, but he hadn't really been consistent with BOJ Radio. I'm looking forward to that coming back, man. I appreciate everything you do, man. Also, it was fun to be with his birthday people. You know what I'm saying? We were them black folks that they had to get rid of that were the last ones to leave. I love it. We just sitting on around carrying conversation. Nothing but black joy, nothing but black love, all love. Happy belated birthday to Juggy. Happy birthday to my two Aries men.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we ain't gonna hold it against y'all that y'all Taurus either.
Not one bit.
Hold on, one's a Taurus, one's Aries. We'll get
roll to call. Roll call real quick. What is everybody?
I'm a Scorpio.
Ooh.
I'm a Taurus. You would say that.
Lady Leo.
And yours truly, the captain, is the Sagittarius over here.
That one I can hang with.
All right.
No.
All right, fellas, I know y'all are wondering who the hell these ladies are. Well, let me tell you who the hell these ladies are. These ladies are Liquor Talk royalty. You've heard them on season 2. You heard them on season 3. You heard them open season 3 by telling you if you have sex, if you can play video games after sex, the sex was whack. These also ladies stole the thunder of Liquor Talk hitting the 100th episode. Episode 101 stole the thunder of that. I'm like, shit, that should have been episode 100, the episode I had these ladies on. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Thug Princess, Miss Shari, Miss Tasha, the ladies of the Naturally Unbothered podcast. Y'all want to talk about some sex? Since I've been talking about sex this month, why not bring the ladies on to invade the men's only round? How y'all
bring the sexperts on the show?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's throw some motherfucking legs back.
Yes.
What up, gentlemen?
The ladies are on with the fellas, y'all. The second
Let's
time
get
ever
ready to rumble.
Yes, we are ready to rumble in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
I hope y'all ready to rumble because y'all need to know we come with big dick energy.
I'm slanging it.
Big energy.
Y'all seen that darkness?
This is a graduate of Steve Harvey's class? What is this? What's going on right now?
He did not say graduates of Steve Harvey.
Who is Steve Harvey?
Huh?
Who is Steve Harvey?
Now you gonna act like you don't know who a former king of comedy is for real. Don't play like that up in this black space, up in the black podcast.
Because we come with our own shit.
Exactly.
Steve Harvey got shit on us.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Now, for the motherfuckers who hadn't listened,
y'all see that darkness? That's
Shark.
That's what happens when our dicks come out.
Okay.
Shadow.
Lights motherfucking out.
Y'all got stuff y'all need to tell us?
Listen, I'm gonna let them tell you. I'm gonna let them tell it. Listen,
By the end of the show, you gonna have your legs thrown back.
Already.
I bet I won't. Now put some holy water on that.
Language,
I bet I won't.
Them cheeks
I bet I
gonna be
won't.
red like.
Language, ladies.
hey,
Language,
ladies are fine. Y'all fine.
No.
Hey, do what you
language,
best day of my
ladies.
life.
We talked about
Okay,
this.
okay. We won't have him with his legs thrown back. We will have him holding his knees.
Language,
better.
ladies. You gotta break them in gently. We talked about this. Let's move
Okay,
on.
okay.
Because the knee
We'll have
holding is
him on
more,
all fours then.
the knee holding is more socially acceptable in the nigga community.
Captain Morgan pose.
Oh damn! Not the Captain Morgan pose.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my God. A Captain Morgan pose. That is creative. I like
Yes,
that.
that's very creative.
Y'all know y'all like y'all salad toast. You just don't like the terminology having your legs thrown back. We've had this discussion.
Every
Oh,
person
the
speaks for
Don is
themselves.
with the shit.
Don't
I can tell.
generalize. Every person speaks for themselves. Don't
Absolutely.
generalize that right there.
For themselves.
Juggy,
Absolutely.
you got lips that look like they will wrap around the ass. So I know you like to have your salad toast.
Talking about personal foul.
See, I told you this
Unnecessary roughness.
You see,
Defense
look,
number 92. Automatic first down.
Right over here calling penalties and shit.
Listen.
Right.
Go ahead,
Shari,
go ahead, Vic, before we get off topic.
we read that different because I read he probably didn't. He likes groceries as opposed to giving up the groceries. He likes to
No, I said
indulge.
When you eat groceries, your lips don't look like this. When you eat groceries, dudes that eat groceries, their lips don't look like this.
Shari, hold on. Shari was insinuating that you like to have your groceries ate.
No, ma'am.
I was insinuating that you have good grocery eating lips.
The bed is undefiled, but that is defiled. So no, ma'am.
So what you're saying is that you're vanilla and you don't do it either way. Sounds like that's what you're saying.
I haven't participated in it. Now, here's what I would say. If it comes up and, my wife, we have discussion and stuff, that's between us within the marriage. But as of yet, that ain't really one of the things that, I've been exploring. I don't need that.
Ever accidentally had that tongue lick her asshole while you was eating her pussy.
I mean, there might have been some inadvertent action or something, but it wasn't no intentional. It wasn't no intentional.
We almost there.
It's right there, but I wasn't going down there just for that though. So
here's what he's not saying, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what he's not saying. All that shit didn't happen. We just don't talk about it. Throw that shit in the air and let it disappear.
Whatever y'all want to say, you know what I'm saying? But y'all got to produce the hard evidence to create a conviction in this court of law. So y'all can say whatever y'all want.
If I ever
come with the hard evidence.
Your wife is.
My wife is predisposed. This is the men's only podcast. She ain't got nothing to do with that.
She locked out the room.
Hold on, his wife is just chilling watching Netflix.
She locked out.
Some shit. I'm on a mission to do that. I'm a private investigator by nature.
A private investigator by nature. Mm-hmm. You're the type of person that screenshot everything and keep it in the archives.
Shit. Absolutely not. I don't know your wife, so what would I be screenshotting?
Hey, but you say you was a private investigator.
But I'm saying you find the hard evidence of whether or not you've had your salad tossed or tossed one. I can find that shit out.
I want to be able to take my
food. He's denying it so vehemently. Of course he had it.
All I said was I take my food. I didn't, not vehemently. It just I said I ain't participated in that. That's all I said.
Ebony.
All right. Order.
I ain't never had no pumpkin pie.
All right.
I never had no pumpkin pie.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all can drink this first 10 minutes because there's more to come, y'all. So y'all might want to get y'all liquor pulled up. Whatever y'all are drinking, pour it up. And if you don't drink, go ahead put something in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Don, is there any looking at that damn juice, dog? Because I was looking at that damn juice.
I'm about to find out right now. I was gonna open it live on air.
Okay, yeah, open that shit live on air. Because I saw that juice the other and I was like, is there any looking at that damn juice?
I think it's supposed to be like THC infused.
THC infused juice. They said there was nothing in it when I walked past them.
I just have one other thing to say. If Juggy is not eating the booty like groceries or licking the booty or tossing the salads, you should not be a part of the Lick Her podcast, because that's what it is. Lick Her podcast. Lick Her podcast.
The Lick Her podcast.
See, this is what happens. This is what happens. You bring in people as special guests on your show. Then they start perverting everything that the show done stood for. Just because the groceries, listen, let me make something perfectly clear.
Yo,
let me make something perfectly clear. Just because it ain't no groceries, don't mean it other stuff ain't going on. It just means that specific activity, you know what I'm saying, may not be on the menu for me. Now, I can't speak for these other dudes because they be wilding, and I agree with they be wilding. But hey, listen, you know what I'm saying?
Just here to teach you guys that it is okay to be in touch. And
I didn't say it was nothing wrong. See, that's where you went wrong. I ain't never say it was nothing wrong with that.
With what you do in the bedroom.
Huh?
How long have you been married?
Since September. Oh, going on 9 months since September 2021.
I get that shit another year. You better start licking some
assholes. Well, come on. Why you gonna do my man like that?
You gonna put all right, this war. This means war now. All right, cool. This how we doing? This how we doing? All right.
At least every 6 months, some assholes should be ate. Anniversary, special occasion, birthday, or something. If you ain't doing it.
Let me ask y'all. So since y'all so stuck on this topic specifically, like, what is it that y'all like about that so much? I am so curious.
Damn, now I'm curious.
Because I'm good. We good over here.
Well, personally, I would like to. Can we table that? Because the question that I want to ask y'all when we're doing the question, it has something that's very relatable to it.
Okay.
Or I can ask it now, but I'm trying to let Vic keep his show.
Okay. Respect. You know what?
Right.
Save your questions yourself.
Okay, because I have it. I already have it.
Because this rapid fire shit gonna get crazy. Don, Jug, I hope y'all ready for this because
I am.
Don't worry, ladies. I have questions.
All right. She got the notepad.
Listen, the Don B has already said that he's with the shits.
Oh, all of it.
So all right, he's
throwing
back, he throwing back legs, he letting his dick get sucked from the back, he letting all the shits happen.
I haven't heard a lie yet, so
see,
we respect you. We respect your open mind, sir. Thank you for your open mind.
You're welcome. And we respect boundaries also. You know what I mean? Like, we all got a little lane here, but yeah, sign me up. Let's go.
We don't have boundaries on our show.
I was gonna say we don't have no boundaries.
What the fuck are boundaries?
If you want to, did you not prep them? You should have prepped them.
You should have
Unbothered
podcast.
I wanted to give them a surprise. I wanted to surprise the fellas because the last couple minutes on rounds we've been getting kind of deep. So I wanted to throw a curveball at their asses, because show some love, show we can loosen up with have some fun with the ladies,
Okay.
Anyway,
you probably should have prepared them a little better, Victor.
Listen,
I can't wait for the cross-examination, boy. I can't wait for cross-examination. What?
Time limits on marriages? Shit, Lord have mercy. Y'all hear this mess?
I don't know what kind of marriages y'all got, but
she should have never married him without him licking her asshole.
What the
Let me, man. Come on with the subject stuff, bro. Come on, let's go. What we doing?
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I thought I was done talking about this goddamn slap that everybody saw, but I had to bring it back because Jada was talking about something. I didn't authorize the damn slap. I'm like, what the fuck is up with this, man? Like, why?
She said that?
Yeah, she said that she really didn't authorize the slap or something. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but she said that she wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't authorize, but I'm like, what the fuck is up? Like, how can ladies? What y'all think? Can y'all tell us, men,
She
like when
literally
we get
looked
rid
at
of
him and gave him the eye, like, "What the fuck you gonna do?" And then after he slaps him, she bust out laughing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it came out that said that she really didn't mean it, and then they had the long healing and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck y'all making so much of this shit for?
What I think is that Jada is a fucking narcissist, and she's got Will in a fucking mental space that he's never been in before. He don't know his motherfucking head from his asshole at this point. Like, I've seen so much since the slap. Like, there's a video of her like just sticking the camera in his face. She literally uses their relationship to fuel whatever she wants to do at the Red Table Talk, because she's a fucking B-list celebrity. She never made it to A-list. And so now she tries to use his celebrityism to be her own celebrity. And it's just really sad. I think it's really sad. And I used to be a Jada fan, but like a lot of her shit is really coming out, and I'm ashamed of myself for being a Jada fan, because she is a fucking narcissist. And I don't have a whole lot to say about that. I'm tired of hearing about the shit too, but we've been talking about it a lot too. Me especially.
Yeah, I'll just say that on the video that Tasha's talking about, what I saw is that she did have the camera in his face, but it was like kind of joking banter that he was coming back at her, because I saw the entire video. But regardless, I'm still a fan of
There
Jada.
was no joke. The video that I saw, it wasn't a joking video.
When there was
no joking. There was no joking. I mean, I guess people perceive things differently, but there was no joking in that video. He was upset, and she was being a bitch. But perception. I didn't mean to cut you off, though. So I'm sorry, Ebony.
Nah, it's, I'm still a Jada fan. I don't feel any different.
So you're not gonna cancel her, basically?
No, I'm not canceling any fucking body. I'm not canceling.
I'm not canceling anybody.
I'm not canceling anyone.
I mean, who are we to cancel people? We done already been through that. You can't. Who are you to cancel somebody?
What the fuck you canceling?
They're still gonna cash their checks, and
right.
You canceled them. What does that mean?
Her Red Table Talk is going to continue, whether I so-called cancel them or like. Their fan base doesn't stop because we say, "Oh, let's cancel them." Like, one monkey don't stop no show.
Yeah, and Will is getting more jobs since the slap.
I saw they would cancel some of his stuff.
Yeah, some of the stuff, but people are like, he's more so after now than then.
That's gonna happen. It's just life.
John, what y'all thinking?
Will Smith is money to them. And when they know every film he's been in. I think maybe 6 Degrees of Separation was probably the least amount of money he's made in a film.
Mm-hmm.
And it still made money.
Favorites.
Like, they know when his name is on something, they're gonna make money. This ain't gonna stop his show. And she ain't really doing much acting no more anyway, so she ain't worried about it.
And I'm
still too busy planning her entanglements. That's what she been doing.
So
she has an entanglement, and he applauded his brethren. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So I think there's two parts to this, right? The biggest part of this is just like y'all said, like this is all done for publicity. Any publicity is good publicity for this couple. All their business is out in the open, right? And there's a reason like why you shouldn't have everything out in the open for everybody to see. But now she's using it for like this game for her talk show that she has on the Red Table. She has some interesting conversations on there. But like to the point where you have your husband looking goofy on national television at an award show with these white folks, like I feel like there's a line that has to be drawn to stuff that you're supposed to do to people. And I feel like some of her character traits are really coming out. And, they've been married for a long time. They're supposed to have been, last time I checked, up until a couple years ago, they were supposed to be couple goals previously, but now these details about their relationship coming out, it's like, well,
That's
now
just
we have to
because
see.
people don't appreciate openness, like that they have an open relationship.
You could be open and not divulge all details of your relationship.
I agree.
The same concept applies with DJ Envy and his wife, and the comments that came out recently. You know what I'm saying? We was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You make this noise during sex, and you weren't liking it. You weren't organized. And she was like, no.
But that's in their book,
story
though.
Is not even new. They said they said their story on their show, on the Breakfast Club.
In their book.
Their story isn't new. I don't even understand why there's a buzz about their story.
I didn't know about that. I did not know that came out previously.
There. Yeah,
I know they got a book. I know they got a book that they've co-written or whatever, and I figured they were just trying to promote that the same way Jada supposedly trying to promote Red Table Talk. So to me, it don't matter. They got checks. They great grandkids gonna have money. They ain't never gonna have no lack, or they shouldn't have no lack in that family ever again. So does it really matter that much to the point where the people was like the memes and like everybody was concentrated on that to such an extent? It's like there's nothing else important going on behind the scenes. Y'all want to talk about this man and this like pedophiles and stuff that's done won multiple awards at this show. So it's people really kind of took off with this. They hungry for topics. It's like, man, you ain't do no research for your podcast, your show. It's the best thing you got to talk about on your show.
Right, because
really?
nobody said shit when Casey Affleck won for Manchester Bay or Manchester to Lake, whatever the fuck. He had all types of lawsuits for sexual harassment against his ass. Nobody said shit.
I just, it's one slap. They done got over it. They living their best life. I mean,
still talking about Jada and Will.
Mm-hmm. Don B, what you think, man?
Whew. Well, this is gonna be rough, y'all. Because my opinions on this are very unpopular, so buckle up. But I'm just gonna stand on it because it is what it is.
Let's go.
I'm a Will and Jada fan. I'm even more so a bigger fan now after all of this. I think that the whole thing is completely blown out of proportion. I think a nigga got slapped on stage. Fine him, ban him, yes, because we can't have a precedent of people to slap people at award shows. This isn't the Source Awards, you know what I mean? That's why they got shut down. And now the Source Awards in the world because y'all can keep your hands to yourself. So I don't want to set a precedent of people getting slapped in the face, but all things together, that man is human. We don't know what led it. And I just feel like I find it very interesting that automatically Jada is demonized in the situation. I feel like I'm not trying to be like, protect black women, but I mean, come on. Like, he's a grown-ass man who's been in the industry his whole life. Like, he knows better than anybody. He's been nominated for many Oscars. He knows better than to get up on stage to swing on somebody. He did that on his own accord. She didn't hold a gun to his head. Like, I think that we love Will Smith, and we all have, like, nostalgic tie to him. And so he's the Fresh Prince, and we all want to see the best in him. And, Jada already has the badass attitude, the whole entanglement thing. And even her roles in movies, she has that kind of a, tough demeanor. So it's easy to demonize her. I'm sorry. I'm not blaming no grown for man's actions. The shit happened. I feel like people are really doing the most. Sorry. People talking about they were traumatized by it. It triggered them. It should have been censored. Like, shut the fuck up. We're at the Oscars watching movies where niggas getting killed in the movies. Like, somebody got slapped. You've never seen somebody get slapped before. You've never been slapped before. Like, I'm sorry. Ridiculous. Ban him. Leave it out. Leave it alone. I don't want nothing else about it. And second of all, the entanglement thing. I feel like that whole story, I was rooting for them the whole time. I think that's dope as fuck that they were open and honest enough to tell people how they really live their life, and they don't care how. They're not telling people this is the way to do it. You ask because y'all been talking about them forever. Will and Jada have been the butt of joke for the black community my whole life. It's always they're weird. They raise their kids weird. They probably swingers. They're probably this. It's always been. So there were a couple of goals, but no, they were the butt of the joke all the time. So now when they're just like, fine, you want it, here it is. This is what we've been doing. Y'all still took that and ran made memes out of it and missed the whole point of what the fuck they were trying to say. So the whole point was we're in a tough space. We love each other. We're doing what we can to stay together. This is how we doing it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But y'all, everybody, no, I say y'all, the world, they missed it. And now it's the whole meme thing. And I just think that they're still staying up with who they are. And you don't have to agree with it. I don't have to agree with it. I don't agree with everything they do. But it's none of my business. And it's like, I don't like that whole thing about putting your business out there. That's why does them putting their business out bother you? Keep your business to yourself.
Right.
Like, you should have no opinion on this if it's not that big of a deal, but that's all I got. It was a lot, but I know y'all gonna hate it, but nah.
I don't hate it because
No, you good.
I just don't condone the actual slap. Like,
No, I'm not gonna condone
I
that.
don't condone that. I
No.
don't have a problem with them as a couple. I actually, you know, I'm okay with their openness. It, you know, that doesn't bother me. Like I said, kudos to August Alsina, who was like, hey, that's my brother and he had my girl back. I'm okay with that. None of that shit bothers me.
None of that bothers me either. I'm good with their openness, and I'm not gonna demonize you or say or hate you because of your opinion and that you still root for them. My whole thing with it is like what you were. I feel like them being open about their relationship. What I've learned as of recent, I don't feel like it's them being open. I feel like it's him going along to get along with what she wants and needs. So, and we can agree to disagree. Like, I'm not going to hate you for your opinion. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. And that's just that. I love Jada. I've always been a Will and Jada fan. I've been a Jada fan forever. You know, there's just a lot of things that I'm coming to the realization of, and going back and watching some of her red tables and some of the things that she's revealed herself.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it means something different now that, you know, I've just, you know, revisited. Yeah. So, again, I'm never going to hate you or tell you you're wrong for your opinion. And I think that's what's so fucked up about this world and society today, because, people want to kill people for having a difference of opinion.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you wrong and why am I right just because we have a difference of opinion? We're not arguing about different facts. We have an opinion. We're sharing our opinions. I like to hear people's different opinions. It sometimes enlightens me. To look at things differently. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Yes,
I value your opinion. It gives me different ways to look at things. So yeah, I'm never gonna tell you fuck you, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Come on.
Amazingly, everybody feels like, oh, she's wrong and everybody's wrong and stuff. But what they fail to realize is, like, is Will happy? His happiness is what matters at the end of the day. If he's happy, then leave him the fuck alone. Shut the fuck up about his kids, because who are you to him? You're not feeding him, you're not fucking him, you're not giving him money. So he's not really gonna be listening to y'all opinions. So I'm just like, I'm over this of y'all just talking about this and going back what Don said, how people just act so traumatized. I'm like, y'all get the fuck out of here. Y'all act like y'all
this traumatizing. Stop playing, y'all.
It's traumatizing, but hold on. No.
I just want to jump back to Tasha's point. I understood what she was saying about like things coming out now about Jada, her personality and whatnot. Like, that's really real. Like, I think we're in a new world now. We have so much access to celebrities' lives all the time. I can just say that I just happen to like appreciate Will and Jada, and I can look past their stuff. But there's a lot of celebrities that I'm like, I wish I didn't know this now. Now I can't even listen to your music no more. I can't do that. That's a real thing. So I want to acknowledge that, like, it's like all this access and all these table talks and Instagrams and going on live, like, it's a lot of people have turned me off because you get to know them on ways you don't need to. It was fun when you were on TV and singing and dancing and doing what you do, but I think now we know celebrities on a level that we shouldn't know. There's no more mystery anymore. So why are they even celebrities at this point? You know, so that was it. I want to touch on that. Like, I agree with you there.
That's a true statement, because before we didn't have so much access to them, so they were like gigantic. Now they're just not so much because you do have more access. So you're right. The Dawn. You're right.
Yes.
I think what I'm probably more disappointed about, period, is just the Academy banning the 10-year shit. We already been banned, so who cares?
Yeah.
When you want the shit anyway?
Well, they had to give him some kind of punishment, and because he's so
no,
great
I'm not saying that. I get that, but that ban ain't shit. This Oscars is probably the most people that watched.
You know why it was? Because it was Black produced. That's why too.
Yes.
That's true too.
Black Will Parker produced it, so yes, that's probably why it has banned. But as far as the ban goes, I thought it should have been like a year, like a slap on the wrist.
Because it was only produced by a Black producer, because they are in the the season
They're
now when
trying
they feel like, oh, we better give them something.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Exactly.
mad. Give them something. Let them do something.
Yeah, and that's
You
the
know,
reason
so
why I don't appreciate. That's the second reason why I don't appreciate the slap, because it would be the time when there are the most brown people winning and the most brown people tuning in that something like this would happen. So it doesn't even, like, you don't even know who won something. Nobody fucking knows,
Questlove.
because everyone is all focused on the fucking slap.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and to that point too, I agree. I'm sorry, Vic. I agree with that too. I was annoyed by like all the people saying like, oh, not in front of the white people, like they are just the moral, compass of society.
Brown.
Like,
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck what white people do. We act how we want to act. That's what it
They'll
is.
slap you in a
So
heartbeat.
exactly, that could have been anybody in there in the right situation. I'm sure it's happened before. Like, it just wasn't on camera.
just to be
So-
we do.
So but my thing is, I feel like Will Smith is such an amazing actor and still underrated to me, and was been nominated so many times, and this was his moment. And now that is for him is torn away. People are gonna immediately go to the slap. Like, man, I just wish you could have went up there and did the whole, cry speech and sat down and we all could have cried with you and all that. Now it's like the thing keeps coming up. So that's all. It's more about him. I don't care about the company in the room. I'm more upset with Chris Rock making that joke in Mixed Company. That joke would have went over better at the BET Awards because we have a thing with each other. But talking about a black woman's hair in front of white people that don't even understand the joke, and be like, that is more offensive to me.
Well, we were so offended by that.
That's what y'all don't get. G.I. Jane was beautiful in her. That was a compliment.
That was not a compliment.
Come on now.
That was not a compliment.
Why did Jada react the way she did if it was a compliment? Why did
He
Jada
just make a hair joke. He made a joke about G.I. Jane. He didn't say nothing about her hair.
Everybody knows what that means. And the whole room was quiet. Nobody laughed.
That's what comedians do.
Yeah.
They say they give a line and they leave it to us to assume. So is he wrong, or are we wrong for assuming that he meant what we assume he meant? Like,
when I watched it, the audience was barely laughing. It was
either way,
uncomfortable, nervous laughter in the room. Everybody got the joke.
Chris Rock didn't say anything wrong. And if you go back and watch our episode the day after this happened, I was all about that's what the fuck Chris Rock deserves. Because I've always hated Chris Rock. But then again, because I started reading and researching, like, I've hated Chris Rock because of a character that he's played on stage doing stand-up. It's legit a character. And I didn't realize that in stand-up he was being a character. That's not who he really is. Because if it was who he really was, he could have blew that up. When the LAPD showed up at that venue to arrest Will Smith, he could have pressed charges in that moment and been the asshole that he's portrayed to be. You know what I'm saying? So he said something. He made a statement about G.I. Jane and left it up to the audience to assume where that was going. We made several assumptions. So was he wrong or were we wrong? So, we can cut that pie several different ways. It's still gonna be the same fucking piece of pie.
It is. Juggy, make your point, and we're gonna get up out of this topic and get to some more shit.
So, it's the only thing I'm gonna say. This man Chris Rock made this joke, and if I recall, Will Smith was laughing. So,
okay, pause. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Everybody's doing the most with that. He was laughing like he was just slapping his knee and just dying laughing.
I'm with you.
You've never laughed before.
Here's the thing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. But here's the thing.
Damn.
You got to be consistent, right? Like, if you thought the joke was funny, the joke was funny. Pull me to the side later. Let me know what's up. Pull Chris Rock to the side later. That swing in emotion, it made me concerned, right? Like, you went from laughing to straight walking on the stage, nationally or internationally televised program, and smack somebody. I know certain people were saying, oh, it was my wife. I would have did the same thing. Well, Now we have a whole situation where you really put in the limelight for the wrong reasons, and you could lose out on certain opportunities or have lost out on certain opportunities because of this. So, but anyways, on to the next topic. That's old news.
Yes, that is definitely old news,
right.
y'all.
And there are consequences to all actions. There are consequences to Will's actions and consequences to Chris's actions. He told a joke, it wasn't happy, he got slapped. And then Will got his punishment. So damn, everybody got their punishment. Let's move on.
That's true.
Yes,
that is true.
Yes, that's facts. And we're gonna leave it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. So pull up that liquor if you haven't done so already. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us since minute 35. Go ahead, subscribe to all the platforms being represented. Subscribe to the Naturally Unbothered. Subscribe to the B Spot and subscribe to BLJ Radio. And of course, subscribe to Liquor Talk. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe, like buttons, blow up your black creatives. Now, this is the part where you might want to go hide your kids, hide your pets, hide the goldfish, hide all the motherfuckers, because we're going to get to what the hell the Naturally Unbothered ladies do best. They ready to.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
They've been roaming around this podcast like sharks in the water. They smell the blood like a damn sharks, and they ready to pounce. Fellas, I hope y'all are ready. I'm ready because I done dealt with these ladies before. I hope y'all are ready. I need y'all, fellas.
Show us what you got.
Before we do that, down.
I have a question.
Y'all panties to the side.
BOJ, is your if I at you, is it BOJ _ radio?
No, it's just BOJ Radio, no underscore.
Okay, just making sure. I don't want to tag the wrong person. Okay, got you.
Oh my God. All right, let's go. What y'all got? Since y'all got all this stuff y'all want to talk about,
yes.
Give us your best shot.
All right, I'm gonna start with this first question because, as you well know, I done talked to a sex therapist. I done talked to a BDSM lady as well. So I want to know from y'all what makes good sex and what motherfuckers keep having bad sex.
What makes for good sex?
What makes good sex?
And why are they having bad sex?
And why people keep having bad sex if we all know what the hell good sex is?
Because people are telling people that sex is bad.
Yes,
we're not talking about what we like and telling people what we don't like.
That's true.
Good sex is a connection.
In the midst of it.
Yeah, good sex is a connection, and if you don't have a connection with somebody, you're not gonna have good sex. Well, you can have good sex, but it ain't gonna be great sex. It ain't gonna be no sex that's going to change your life, because sex can change your life if it's with the right person.
Yeah, and a lot of times, because we recently had this conversation on one of our episodes, in the midst of a sexual encounter, sometimes we get so caught up in not wanting to embarrass the other person or make them feel uncomfortable that we allow ourselves to be uncomfortable or deal with something that's unpleasurable and don't communicate that to allow them to keep banging away at us because they seem to be having a good time, but we're not having a good time.
Right.
You know, you have to communicate that. Well, hey, this doesn't feel good. Can you slow this down? Let's try a different position. You have to be able to communicate. If a man is a quick comer, we have to be able to suggest things that might increase that, and suggest a cock ring. You have to be willing to say what you need, and then you have to be willing to receive what your partner is saying as well, and not be intimidated by that.
That's the part.
Because, being able to receive the information,
by what
not be offended. So and that's what communication is. Communication is hearing and receiving the information, being able to reciprocate that. It's not just me saying something. It's you being able to. Yeah,
and you can tell if a person likes you, because if they like you, they're gonna tell you what they like. Because if this just a quick nut, they ain't gonna say nothing.
It don't matter. Exactly. Yeah, but if it's some shit that you want to last or you working on, then you need to be having those conversations.
Absolutely.
Even if you feel like you can't have it in that moment, as soon as you're done, you need to be saying, "Hey, this didn't work for me. going forward, because I know there's times where you can be trying to push a guy up off of you, whether it's oral or intercourse. You could be trying to push him up off of you, and they'll think they read it all wrong. Like, this shit don't feel good to me, but you thinking, oh, she like this shit, so you go at what you're doing harder. Like, nigga, no. So we need to be able to communicate that, and then you need to be able to read body language for one.
Exactly.
But if he continues to go, even with guys, somebody is sucking your dick and that shit don't feel good, or her tooth is rubbing you the wrong way, but she go up and feel good before she go down and don't, but you want her to keep going, but like, communicate, babe. You know what I'm saying? You got to communicate that shit. A motherfucker told me, hey, a long time ago, you must don't do this too often, because I took his advice and I became great at it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to receive
you are a real
the information as well. So that's my opinion on that.
I like that.
Great opinion. We respect it.
I think it goes back to what you're saying earlier about sex not being great without a connection. Like, far be it for me to, cast no judgment on casual sex, because it is what it is. But I mean, it's a vulnerability thing. You can't share what you like if you don't want to be vulnerable with somebody. And so that's like a whole different level. Yep. It's hard to sit and be like, okay, I like these things, because now you're exposing yourself. And if you ain't real with yourself, do you even know what you like? Like, a lot of us grow up, I feel like my generation, like, just kind of you just stumble into it. Like, parents don't talk about it, you just better not do it. And then especially a Christian household like I was in, it was just like, you better not do it, you better not think about it, nothing else. And then you just out here, and that's how the girls are all pregnant in high school with my family, and everybody's, you know what I mean, out here being sexually adventurous teenagers. I was doing ripping and running wild, like, because you just got to figure it out for yourself. And so you never take time to learn. Nobody talks to you about it. Like, in school, it's a bullshit way of, organs, this part does that, but nobody tells about the feelings attached, how you discover your body, what you like, what's, masturbation is supposed to be. It's all hush hush. So yeah, you're left your own devices. So I think a lot of people don't know what they like. So until you're in the moment and you're not vulnerable enough to share it. So
right. And I come from the opposite household of you. I'm not saying my family is not a Christian family, but my parents are not. And so sex was just free. And it was an open conversation. So even though I was a teen mother, I was not sexually active. I'm just one of those people who's like,
yeah.
But because it was so accessible to me, it didn't appeal to me, because my parents were just like, my mother in particular was just very open and was like, if you want to be with girls, be with girls. If you want to be with this, if you want to have 3 boyfriends, whatever, just let them know. Like, my mom was super duper freeing about her information.
I love that.
Any of my friends will tell you they all have a sex story that my mom has shared with them. Every single there's not a friend that I'm like super close with that has ever met my mom that did not hear a sex story, because she just was like, you guys are going to be educated, you're going to know what you want, like, your pussy is gold, there's no way anyone should ever into your vagina without having paid you some type of something compensation. You are gold. That's gold. And that's just it.
That's real.
I love that.
Mary, man, what you think?
So I agree with the points by Shirley and Tasha. I think, we kind of grew up in a very weird society with sex, right? It's hyper sexualized, but we don't actually get educated on what sex actually is. So, especially for like Black people, like, you're just told, don't bring nobody home. Well, for Black boys, you're told, don't bring nobody home pregnant. Don't bring no pregnant girl up in my house. You better not be no kids if you're not married. That's just kind of like the general thing. Now, I was fortunate enough to have parents, they talk about STIs. They told me a couple do's and don'ts, but it's like, oh, you'll know what to do when you find the right person. Well, I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? And so you kind of find out through trial and error. And I think when you have sex with somebody that you really like, or somebody that you really love, that's when you start really caring about, like, how good is the sex. Because if it's just a quick nut, you know what I'm saying? If it's like a one night stand or something like that, you don't really care that much. You're just trying to get your. But when it's somebody that you care about, it's somebody that you really have feelings for. Like if they say something to you nasty, it's gonna hurt your feelings. That's when you start caring about it. And that's at different points with people. Some people they 40 when it happens. Some people they 20 when it happens. Some people already have kids when that happens. Some people have already been married once or twice when that happens. So I just feel like
sometimes people 9 months in and she didn't even tell you she like her booty leg.
I was getting ready to say straight.
She read this booty talk.
I swear to God, Shari, I was waiting for a break to say that's how we go. In due time.
I mean,
she timed that perfectly. She timed that perfectly.
That was perfectly done. I ain't gonna lie. I give you props.
Jug, you
I give you props for that one. But I just feel like what we're doing right now is what needs to happen more often, right? Conversation. Yes. People don't have no conversation until something goes wrong, right? And that's when there's a big problem. You don't want to have a conversation after the fact. If you have all the uncomfortable conversations before you actually start, then you setting yourself up more for things to go correctly.
You can't have all of the uncomfortable conversations before, because sometimes you don't know things are uncomfortable until they actually happen or you're in that moment. But I agree with you. Those conversations do need to be had. They are awkward. They do make you feel a type of way, but those conversations need to be had.
It's true. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? For men, like we have this ego, we have this pride thing, right? Like, it's got to be like we got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like we got to have a report when we done, you know what I'm saying? But I think we got to take time to listen. And the thing is, as a man, you got to take turn to listen, not just to what she says, but like the nonverbal communication is sometimes much more important. The little small things that y'all ladies was mentioning earlier. It's the little small cues that when you care about somebody, like I was saying, when you love somebody, you start picking up on cues like, like they kind of made a face when I did this or when I did that, maybe. And then that's when it leads to better communication. That's when you have sex. It just keep going another level. So it's just, you know, you got to talk about it. If you're not willing to talk about it, you know, the stuff I see on social media, like it's hilarious. It's sad, but it's absolutely hilarious. Sometimes some of the stuff that, you know, people have outlets and they're like, this was horrible. I can't believe it. You know, there's not like it's not like really a manual for it, you know what I'm saying? So people are all over this spectrum. Some people on the good end, some people on the bad end.
Yes. Some people.
What are y'all's ages, if you don't mind me asking, Juggy and the Don?
I'm 35 as of last week.
Okay.
33. Jesus year.
Okay.
Let's go.
And I think I'm the youngest out of everybody. I'm 31.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love you, big.
Yeah. I knew I was smelling Similac through the phone. I thought everybody was wet behind the ears. Crazy.
I mean, how old are y'all, if you don't mind us asking?
I'm 45.
I'm 44.
And Tasha's 49. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay. Black don't crack. Black don't crack.
God damn it.
Listen at all.
Black does not crack, ladies.
Tasha will be 50 in August.
Mm-hmm.
August.
Hey, okay. She's doing a big birthday
party. You doing another collaboration?
We going to Vegas. We about to be in Vegas May 30th.
Y'all about to have real fun. Okay.
I love
Ebony's birthday she's a Pisces. Her birthday was just on March 13th, so she's 45.
Happy belated.
Happy belated.
Happy belated.
Happy belated. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ladies. All right. How do y'all feel about the BDSM life? Could y'all see yourself watching your man fuck another woman or doing something sexually that y'all won't do? Like, say,
can we define BDSM, please?
There ain't nothing that I won't do, so I'm trying to figure out what he can
Wait, what'd you say, Don?
Define that? What does it stand for? BDSM. What is that?
Shit, I don't remember off the top of my head.
That was bonded or something.
Lighten the gentleman. Sorry.
What are you talking about? Phone.
I had a whole bunch of notes, and I could have read that off, but I'm on my phone now,
so
Bondage, discipline, bondage, discipline, sadomasochism, submission, dominance. Okay. Definition.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good definition.
It's some 50 Shades of Grey shit, basically.
Okay.
Okay, so with you saying that, I wrote down, I had a whole lot of notes, but they're in my phone, and now because of this app, I'm on my phone, so I can't get to my notes. But I did write down, I wrote down the 5 misconceptions, but I don't have the notes to break each one of them down. So I apologize. So I'm just going to read them. The first misconception is that it's all about sex. It's not all about sex. It's damn, I had some other shit. Sex and submission. It starts with submission. But you have to be willing to be emotionally trustworthy with your partner. Number 2 is that the second misconception is that it's dangerous. It broke a lot of stuff down, but basically it comes down to consent and choosing a safe word, right?
Well, it's actually the consent part of it is more important than anything, because when you do the consent of BDSM, you basically are sitting together to create an agreement for what you want your sexual. It's called a scene. They're not experiences.
Right. That's what my number 3 is.
Yeah. And so you're gonna sit down and decide what you like, what you don't like, what's this, and your safe word and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And then number 3 is there's no discussion or rationality involved.
Right.
Which is not true. So before you sit down and you have negotiations, that's where you talk about what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do. So your partner knows, and then that's where you're creating your safe word with the negotiation. And then the aftercare is basically after you've done these things, checking in with your partner, having the conversations like, what did you like, what worked, what didn't work, things like that. So before and after care, basically. And then number 4 was it's all old-fashioned Dungeons and Dragons stuff, like dungeon stuff.
Yeah.
And it's basically, it's not, but it talks about a lot of apps that you can use now, updated, basically. It's not just like a whole bunch of whips and chains in a basement anymore. It's apps that you can use now, but they said the biggest suggestion that they had is that you use apps that's been established over 10 years, like FetLife, FetLife, has been established over 10 years. That's the only one that they gave a name to, but they suggested that. And then the 5th misconception that everyone says is that they think BDSM people love 50 Shades of Grey. And they don't, simply because
I hated it.
Simply because it's fiction, first of all, and it just gives this whole broad misconception of what it's all about. Because it's just not a real. It's just not real about what that lifestyle is. It doesn't give a real depiction of what that lifestyle is about.
There is a place for that type of kink. However, it's not realistic, and it just wasn't depicted the way that how things are depicted. Like she didn't have any say. There was no consent of anything. She just went along with whatever was had. And what people don't realize is in the BDSM world is that the submissive has the most power. See, and that's the same with women in relationships. You don't understand that you being submissive gives you more power than it is for you ever to be dominant. And women don't understand that. They have a real conflict with that. Like, yes, I'm super dominant sexually, but I'm submissive in my relationships because if there's a place and there's a time for things, and you miss out on the quality of the man that you're trying to date because you're battling him while trying to be so dominant. It is a male's nature to lead, so allow them to. But like Tasha always says, everybody cannot. You can't lead everybody. You can't follow everybody because there has to be a vulnerable space and trust for that. And BDSM is about trust, and that is the reason why the submissive person has the most power. Is because not only are they being the most vulnerable and they're giving themselves, and they are, but they're the ones that are setting the rules for what is to happen to them. Yep. So if me as a dominant, if I go outside of those confines, I have broken a rule. I have broken the trust. It's not even a rule. I've broken the trust. So you, as a submissive person, you don't trust me anymore. So you're not going to think that, oh, once I do this, I'm going to stop, or I'm going to do this, because you no longer trust me. So the submissive is the one who has the most power.
Fellas, what y'all think? Y'all want to chime in?
I was just going to say, sorry, when she was trying to quote me, she was trying to say you can't put a crown on a clown and call it a king.
Hello.
I mean, I was going to let you say that part, but
can't do it.
You can't.
Thanks.
So I think for guys, like, you got to be willing to explore. And this goes back to the foundation of communication that we was talking about. Like, a lot of the misconceptions and the stereotypes of BDSM that you just mentioned, Tasha, like, that's where most guys are stuck, especially most Black guys. They're very vanilla, right? And so you got to get that deeper connection and that deeper trust before you can even start having those conversations about what do I might like. This is what I might like to explore. Let's try something different. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do this. And then once you explore, it's like, oh, I find I really, really like this, but you got to get there first. So a lot of guys, they got to get out of their own head. They got to get out of their own ego space.
Get out of your head.
Those words, Juggy.
What's it going to take you to get out of your head so you can get your legs thrown back?
Damn, Juggy, you walked right into that. Damn.
Oh no, on the serious tip, Juggy, to what you were saying, like, Shari brought it to my attention, and I know we kind of bullshitted about it on a podcast, but Shari brought it to my attention that I might have ruined a man's life because, and it was somebody that, I mean, I was younger, I was in my mid-20s. But it was a guy that I liked him decently enough. Like, I liked him. We could have probably went somewhere, and it didn't because the sex was trash. And I wasn't, in my 20s, I wasn't in this space where I knew how to communicate that. I didn't know how to tell him that without crushing his ego. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't where I am now at 49. Exactly. I was probably like 25, 26. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we talked about it on the episode, and Shari was like, Tasha, you probably ruined that man's life because he was too pump chump. But like I said earlier, had I suggested a cock ring or something, because I had friends suggest that. I had, talked to your homegirls about it, and I had somebody suggest that, but I didn't know how to do that then. I wasn't where I am now. I didn't know how to have those conversations.
Yeah, and then Sunday
been able to receive that conversation, like, put this on. What's this for? That might have crushed his ego. So,
we have these Sundays. They're called our Sex Sundays and Sex Position Sundays. And just the last one that we did was about helping the man prolong his ejaculation, and it's all positions that help with that. So we talk a lot of shit, but we give out some valuable information.
Yes, they do.
I'm sitting there listening. to y'all. Y'all got y'all stuff together. It ain't no doubt.
Shit out night about getting your booty hole licked. By the end of this show, by the time you go in there to see your wife, you're gonna be like, "Hey, go take a shower."
Let me tell you something.
Hey, Don, what you think?
I don't even remember what the question was.
We're talking about BDSM.
Ooh.
Do we like
BDSM? That's what we
Come
want.
on, Don. I know you got. I know you know what I'm saying. I know you got. some interesting stuff
I know
to say
you
about
heard all day. You got something.
Listen. I'm down with it. I'm one of those people that I draw the line at and animals. Anything outside of that, I'm literally just like, okay, let me see. So I'm not quiet about. I have played on every side of everybody's fence, and you name it, I've done it. Groups, things, all kinds of fun stuff. Because I was so repressed as a kid, I felt like my parents taught me nothing, shielded me, and then really kicked me out. Like at 18, it was like, all right, see you, don't come back, get a job.
Figure it out.
No, so I was just out here. So I had a kind of personality where it was just like, with that, drugs, experimentation, it was just kind of like, what does this do? Try that. Don't touch it, it's hot. It's not hot. Oh, fuck it. That's how I got to the world. So, I was a bartender for many, many years. I did it all through college. So through that, I came through a lot of situations with cuckolding and group threesomes and married couples talking about some. Come back to the house after that. Yeah, I worked with a private club, so rich white folks. I've seen some things, and so I'm not promoting anything like, oh, just be out here, whatever. Because a lot of that stuff I was reacting to trauma, blah blah blah, whatever. But I don't regret any of those experiences because now I truly don't judge nobody for nothing, and I really do. I'm not afraid to figure out what I like about things. If I'm with somebody and they're like, hey, I'm really into this, there's some things I don't like. But I've never just not tried it. If it's just like, hey, I'm really into armpits, it's like, oh, that's weird. But it's like, okay, whatever. But I have a weird thing with elbows. Can I get my elbows thing? And then that's how I am. I'm very communicative. If I don't want to do it, I don't.
Elbows. Imagine that.
I'm just joking about the elbows. I love clean. The Liquor Talk is a very clean show.
Elbows. Ooh.
Ebony likes elbows.
That wasn't too much, but that's that makes sense. That's kind of
No,
so
but I think that's great that you're that open-minded, the Don. Like really, because that's what makes for a great sex partner is someone who is open to it. There are things that the ladies will tell you. I have blossomed in the past year. And I be doing all kinds of shit.
Are you open to pegging, the Don?
Oh, I'm absolutely open to that. Absolutely. Ooh. Absolutely. I have stories.
I'm a master pegger over here, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but yeah, I'm super open to a lot of shit.
The brown is kicking in.
Yes. I'm super open to a lot of stuff. But this year I have really come out of I don't even know how I was even in a bubble, but I done came out even more. And so and the ladies, they'll tell you I have. It's been a lot. I'd be like, oh, I did this, or guess what? And it's just it's all about open-mindedness. And just like Juggy said, it's the communicate after you've been together for a while and you're communicating and you're open to it, those type of things. It just allows you to be more comfortable with your mate. That's why I'm a firm believer by year 3, they're gonna be licking assholes.
Good God.
Good God, man.
You come in like those commercials and have on YouTube channels. The commercial at a YouTube channel where they had the commercials, the paid promotion within the video, and it just be sliding stuff in there all smooth. Yeah.
I promote the groceries.
Listen,
you're never gonna live. She's not letting you live.
You're really not.
I am not bothered at all. I came ready.
The one thing I will say is this: it's like if you really like somebody, your sexual limits will just unlock because if you don't like somebody, you're gonna put limitations on everything.
That's very true.
Even if you don't like the motherfucker, just unlimit yourself because you never know. Because what you take from this person might help you with your next sexual experience. So you gotta go unlimited. You know what I'm saying? Don't put limits.
But look, don't put limits, but also don't feel pressure to do something that you don't want to do just because for the sake of being freaky. Somebody's going or whatever. Like if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. That's the beauty of that.
Because I've always been against anal. Right. I've always been like, I don't want to do it. Every time I do it, I get an infection. Blah, blah, blah. Like I don't like it. And then
I don't do that.
But recently with the artist, I learned what about anal I do like.
Yeah.
And never would have done it with any of my other partners ever. It wasn't even we're not doing it. But like I said, I've been open. I've learned some shit, and there is something about anal that I do like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good for you.
That's good for you. Listen. All right, fellas. I hope y'all ready. Look at talk. We are going overtime. We're gonna open up these questions because we coming at the ladies, and the ladies are coming at us.
So we get to ask questions too.
Can I do the ego first? Because I've been waiting on this all this time.
All right, Shay. We're gonna start right there. Go ahead.
All right. So let me pull up my question because he done said it, Juggy. The word ego has been thrown out so much. So let's talk about the male ego and how women are expected to protect your ego. Why? Why do we have to protect your ego?
If you have to protect our ego, then that should tell you that that's not a real man you're dealing with, because a real man is going to protect his ego no matter what. A real man is not going to give a fuck about his ego if he's with you. But continue, folks.
So the answer to this is very simple. Your ego is tied directly into your personality, right? So it's a protection mechanism. You have these machismos and this hyper masculinity. You got all this stuff thrown at you in a short period of time, and then you turn 21. So guys have this protection mechanism. They have their ego things that they will and won't do because their manhood is such a deep part of their characteristic. So what I think happens is they have these trial and errors with women or whoever their sexual partners happen to be. And we never get out of that. We're never able to open up and explore all these different things that it could be. I think a lot of men feel like they will no longer be a man if they don't allow their ego to dictate their personality, their actions, things that they say, things that they do. It's unfortunate. Now, some men go out of that. Some men learn their lesson. A lot of men don't. Especially when men tend to have a lot of money, they don't tend to give up their ego for some reason. Oh, yeah. Not all the time, but most of the time. Example, so how you see there's like a saying where you see like extremely rich, wealthy white men, and they have the most weird off the wall fetishes and stuff that they're unapologetic about. That's what I'm talking about with the money thing. So the guy's ego is attached to this identity crisis that we have in our culture where you can't be wrong, you can't be seen as weak, your sex can't be bad, you're dominated, you hunted and you sequestered your quarry. We have this mentality, and again, sometimes men grow out of that. Sometimes men are in communities where they have men that teach them so they don't fall victim to that. But the vast majority are just out there living by the ego because that's what society teaches as a mechanism of this whole wheel that we're in. So that's my answer. Don?
I felt like I said was it a second question? I said my little, spiel. What was
about the male ego?
Yeah, the male ego. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, I agree with everything you said. I think that it is more specifically tied. It's even stronger in black men, black and brown men, because I think you're already torn down so much by society. The only thing that's uplifted in you is your sexuality, because you're basically
animal
or fetishized by white women and white men. You know what I mean? With all the jokes about having a big dick and all these things, and black men, they're big, strong, or you know what I mean. So their manhood, their ego, that's like all they feel like they have it all. So they got this, they cling to it, and I think that it's not fair, but it's also not your job to stick around. You have to, like, for the women, they have to understand, or anybody they're dating, like, it's not that person's job to fix that person. Like, that man has to go through his own woke phase, like we all do, and get on YouTube and watch all the videos and listen to the podcast and do the self-help. He has to go on his own journey to discover that in himself. If you discover that that's what that person wants, it's on you to leave because nobody expects you to do it. But women sometimes will continue to stay and do it because maybe there's other things about him you like, or maybe you feel like you can't get nobody else or whatever. So whatever you're not changing, you're choosing.
Exactly.
Because we tend to try to date people for their potential and not for what they're really showing us sometimes.
Because black women have had to carry black men on their backs for so long, you're used to having to hold everything down and fix it or take care of it. So when you meet somebody to fix it, just another regular day in the park for you. But really, it shouldn't be like that. The bar for
it really shouldn't.
So low for black men.
And another thing I will say, and it's frustrating when you meet they'll meet a decent black man who they don't need to hold down, and they scared of them because they think something wrong with them.
Right. Yeah, they don't know what it looks like.
They scared of them, so they'll find something does find the smallest thing wrong with them, and then run back to the sorry nigga they got carried. I'm like, okay, go ahead, run back to that motherfucker. Go ahead.
I want to say something else too.
Victor, that sounded personal in a motherfucker.
That sounds real personal. You okay?
I'm good, y'all.
Wait. Let's pull over.
I'm good, y'all. But listen, hey, it is what it is. I'm good, y'all. But anyway,
I just want to say something very quickly. I just want to say something super quickly. I guess I think sometimes a male ego should be stroked because as women, I mean, we don't have to be told that we're beautiful and that we look nice and those type of things, but those type of things feel good. And so I know that even for men, sometimes they don't get to, especially our black men, they don't get to hear, hey, yo, thank you for working hard today. You did a great job. You're doing this, you're doing that. And so I want to be able to give those encouraging words to my husband or whoever it is when they're doing great. So isn't that a form of boosting his ego without being like having to feel like I'm carrying somebody or something?
But my question was, why are we responsible for that? You know,
but you're not. You're not responsible.
If you're in a relationship,
I have a question for Ebony, though. I have a question for Ebony. Ebony, you don't feel like Black women give their Black men accolades like thank you for being the provider, thank you for this, thank you for that? Because me as a woman, I do that when I'm in a relationship. Like I make sure that my man feels appreciated.
I think of the three people that are on this podcast, or the three women, I know that we do that, but I know that we know other women who don't.
I do.
Who are not appreciative.
We do, but
I want to throw something in for the ladies to think about. So, and this is something that Don just touched on when he gave his thoughts. So, specifically the Black men, American Black men, immigrant, the Caribbean, and African men, are the other two categories.
Right.
Yeah.
When a lot of Black men are in this survivalism mode, right? Well, they don't get the luxury to explore all of these things per se until later on. They're in the late 30s and 40s. Now, that's not to say that absolves them from the responsibility. But what happens is, if you have a stable two-parent household that you grow up in, your parents are teaching you different things about sex at different levels. You go to classes, you go to camp, you get all these different experiences. A lot of Black boys get a survivalist. When you 14, you 15, get your ass out there, get a job. Don't do this, don't do this. There's all these don'ts. You can't do this, you can't do this, you can't go here, you can't do this, you can't. You can't. Now, again, I don't want to take away the responsibility, because I tell some of my boys right now that grew up in that survivalist environment, they had nothing to do, they couldn't help it. At some point, you got to make choices to be where you want to go.
Yep.
You got to make those choices no matter how much it hurts. If you want better, then you got to do better. But I think early on in that phase, somewhere between like 18 and like about 30, for a lot of Black boys, they're in that headhunting mentality. They're like, I got to kill something, I got to eat it, I got to get a check, I got to be able to pay rent. They're in that survival mode. One of the reasons why white people are so open to stuff is because they get the opportunity to explore all of those things growing up. They have the opportunity. They get to go to boarding school. They get their trips in Europe. They get to go on their Mandingo hunts in Jamaica and Ghana and Zimbabwe. They get to do all those things and then come back and have their career.
Yes, like the gap year is real. Allow your children to have the gap year. I have one child that went to the military. I have one child that did the gap year, and I have one that went directly to college. The one that did the gap year is the one who is a little more rounded because they had the opportunity to go and explore and do whatever. Like, you have to allow your children and know that you've given them a foundation to grow. Know that they're gonna go to do whatever it is that their heart's desire does. But if you don't give them the window,
it's true.
It's true. Don and Tasha, or
this
Tasha
is not.
Don.
This is. I'm sorry, Amy. This is not my podcast.
Well,
I don't know if Victor answered this question yet, and I know that y'all say y'all usually tackle a bunch of like more serious topics. I feel like and I know Victor said that we were invited on here for the motherfucking shenanigans. So can we get back to the motherfucking shenanigans?
Please.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, I got a question for the ladies then. How do y'all know?
No, I have a follow-up question. No, this is about us bringing them in questions. So since Shari,
hold on, we get to ask y'all some questions too. Goddamn it! Hold on now, we get to ask y'all some questions.
But before we get off topic, because Shari had the ego question, my follow-up question, because it's about sex and not about raising kids and all that stuff. My question. Okay, it's a statement. So most men have an issue with women dating multiple men. Why is that an issue if they're doing the same thing? And I think that comes down to ego. That's my answer. What do y'all think?
Because some men are childish, and some men they're childish and they have double standards, and they haven't matured enough to be like, hey, it is what it is. They don't have open minds. But fellas, what do y'all think?
Nah, man, it's open season. I went to a public university, had a large black contingent. It's open season. Whoever, it's competitive out here. You want to be the top dog? You want to be on top? You got to prove it. I think
I wouldn't fam you. It was us open season everywhere.
You would be okay with your wife dating another man.
My wife? Whoa.
That's what we're talking about. That's what this is about.
Wait, hold on. I thought you meant you're talking about when in a dating circle. Like you're single.
I am speaking about in a dating circle, not in a marriage.
Okay, those are two different categories.
If it's in a dating circle, it's fair game. It's what it is. What it is. Best
man. Yeah, you married. You committed to one person.
Married.
Okay.
It hasn't been.
You have an open marriage, but
so run the question back again.
That was the question. Most men have an issue with women dating multiple men. If they do the same thing.
To answer that question, those men need to step
up and do
what the hell they need to do to win you, or they just need to get to the back of the line. May the best man win.
Or get off the pot.
Nah, I grew up in an environment where, look, it was eat or be eaten. You want to prove yourself as a quality choice. You want to choose yourself as a man of quality. Like, you want to be seen like, oh, he has his stuff together. Oh, he's nice. Oh, he knows how to speak. Oh, he knows how to do A, B, and C. That's the type of environment that I grew up in. And when I got to college and thereafter, you push each other to the next level. This stuff that they talking about, that's that. I know that it exists, but like, I see that's the thing. We all have these different experiences. And when we used to encounter, me and my dogs, we used to encounter dudes like that, we would put them on game.
Time out, Juggy. You're not finishing your thoughts. So I'm confused. Like, you start a sentence and then you start over. So you're not finishing your thoughts. So
I don't feel, my direct answer is I don't feel like most men dislike when women date a lot of men. That's my I do not think that's the case.
That's your answer.
That's my personal. That's based on what I see. That's based on my experiences and what I see.
The Don is going to give us the truth.
Thank you.
Let's go, the Don.
Move on.
Damn. You on the spot, dog.
He's well versed all the way around. So let's go, the Don. We got the religious married guy answer. Let's go, the Don.
My answer.
Damn.
Y'all foul.
Damn. So what the hell is my answer? Shit.
It's the violence for me. Listen, my answer is my experience, not necessarily the truth. Because I have friends that have the same views. Many friends. I grew up similar to Jug, but I also have friends that we had the locker room conversations, and they be talking. I'd be like, "Oh my God!" If people knew what you were saying, like I think that I don't know. It's the truth. Men want a woman with a low body count. Like my friend the other day, he made a post, and he's. I'm almost scared to say this. I know he's gonna listen to this, and I love him so much.
Doesn't mean fucking. Continue.
He posted that he was looking for a girl. You said what?
Dating does not mean fucking. Continue.
Okay, I got you. He posted that he was looking for a girl, and he's been single for a while, and she had to have like less than 2 kids, booty bigger, stomach flatter, all these different like requirements, all this stuff. But it was specifically like to less than 2 kids and less than 1 or whatever, all this stuff. And I was reading it and I was just like, please delete this. Like, oh my God, he's my friend. And I was just like, he's a real smart dude, real educated. I'm just like, I don't want people to think
he's not that smart.
And so, but the thing is, everybody is hooting and hollering and ha 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 and liking it and all this stuff. And I just put question mark on there, and he was like, "Get off my page." And I was just like, because I'm gonna say something, but everybody's just joking about it. It's funny, but it's not funny. And you single, so
I don't like them women who are built like ants.
And it's just I do feel like niggas have a lot of requirements that they are not willing to meet themselves. Prime example: Future and Sierra. And the nigga correlation that supports Future and everything he does and wants to shit on Russell or whatever. But it's like, give me a break.
That's 100%
agree.
Yes.
100% agree.
So I am polyamorous. And
okay.
So therefore, very open to dating a variety of individuals. And also acceptable that my partners are allowed to date whomever they would like as well. And I am partnered currently, and my male partner has no problem at all with me being with another male. When he met me, I was with another male. Has no problem with that.
Well, y'all were in the lifestyle is different. For people that are not in the lifestyle, they're not going to feel that same way.
You do know that one of my partners is not in the lifestyle. He was not in the lifestyle prior to dating me. So, he was okay, 100% monogamous, has never even thought about.
Right, but y'all were never in a relationship. So he was okay with that.
First of all, we were not in a committed relationship, but everything that you do with a person for a long amount of time is a form of a relationship. So
I'm just saying what you told us. You said y'all weren't in a relationship. That's why y'all were able to continue. Okay.
Correct. So yeah.
All right. Can the fellas ask some ladies some questions now? Because all right.
Y'all,
Don, go ahead and ask the lady something.
Vanilla, so y'all can start it out, but we're gonna take it somewhere else.
Listen, it ain't gonna be no damn vanilla. Don is starting it out, so I'm curious to hear what Don got to say.
Don.
Well, Jug is an L7 for sure.
Y'all be on Jug's head.
God damn!
Fight back!
Damn, Juggy,
because it don't bother me. It's glancing blows.
Y'all got friend, man.
Don, what you gotta say, bro?
Smoke the Juggy, goddamn! Y'all found out he's a married man, and y'all just went after him. I'm like, damn.
He's a married man that ain't never licked an asshole. Oops,
maybe
on accident.
I'm not even gonna call him Juggy more. I'm gonna call him Pastor.
Call me what?
Pastor Juggy.
Pastor Juggy.
Pastor.
Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why you picked that, but okay. So I got a question.
Wait, it's the Don's question. You don't get to ask.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Don.
Let's go to Don.
I just had a pegging question.
Oh, okay. Let's go. I love it. I knew you was the right one to start it out. Let's go. Let's get
I mean, what all three of y'all are down with? Who's down with that? Who's not down with that? And tell me a story of your first time doing that.
Shari's down with it.
That part.
Tasha's not, and Ebony.
Hold on, so how all y'all were clapping about the damn pegging and only one of y'all down with it?
Tasha supports our shenanigans. She just does not do
because
it.
When he said he was down with it, I was excited for Shari. Let me just tell you, because I knew she was gonna get in that ass, and I feel like they probably gonna end up in the city somewhere soon together.
Sorry, my book off flight to Orlando.
Oh my God.
Next month.
Ebony, you can go. What's your story about pegging?
I don't have a story about pegging. I don't.
Okay with it?
Huh?
That's a soundbite.
With it. You do it.
Oh yeah, because I was like, bitch, I don't have no story about pegging.
I know, but
I don't have a story about pegging. My husband will not allow me to peg him. However, if I knew somebody that would let me peg him, I would peg the fuck out of him.
I was gonna say, Shari, I think I would peg somebody. I wouldn't strap on and fuck nobody. That's what I would not do. But I might peg somebody because I slide a pinky or something. I ain't even talking to salads too, but I ain't want to fuck nobody.
Shit, I'll do that too. I'll strap it on. I'll fuck
salad.
you.
I have no problem.
I'll fuck the shit out you.
Salad, and I have no problem with pegging. My first pegging experience was with one of my sex partners. He was just adventurous as I was, and he was like, let's try this, but let's try this with a pegger. I did not use an actual dildo with him. I did that. He enjoyed the experience. Fast forward some years later, he was like, I'm about to get married, can you teach my wife how to please me in this manner? Did so, and that's my story.
You giving teaching lessons?
And just for the record, if anybody, my husband ain't gonna let me. But if I was divorced and somebody said, "Hey, put this strap on and fuck the shit out of me," I would do it, and I would tell all my friends about it the next on the drive home. Bitch.
Okay. Well, maybe I should add some clarity. So I don't, because I think we need to get some definitions if we're going to be, having educational conversation about this. Because you said a pegger, I don't know what that is. My experience is a little different.
So
let me hear your experience.
The pegger,
the Vaseline.
Yeah, it literally is no bigger than that.
That's your peg.
It only
like a plug or
goes
something.
right to the male's G spot. It goes no further.
That's
a pegger. A dildo.
Not the bowl.
You already know what the dildo does. Like I
don't
don't have
the
to
same
give an
bowl.
explanation for that. But a pegger only reaches the male G spot or the prostate. That's as far as it goes. So you're penetrating him, but you're not fucking him per se.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between pegging and fucking.
Oh, the Don, you should fuck.
Ebony wants to fuck. She doesn't want to peg you. She wants to put on the strap on, and she wants to fuck you.
I have done the specific
If I fuck you, I better never see you in life again. If I fuck you, I better not never see you. We can't never look each other in the eye.
Okay, now I gotta jump in here because I had a follow-up question because a friend of mine told me that she had a conversation with. I was having a conversation with a friend. She was like, if a man wants anal or lets that happen, she might think he gay. Would y'all think a man gay if y'all peg him? Would y'all think he might like that or no?
Absolutely not. Like I said, the guy that I was with, he's 100% heterosexual. He saw it. He had some friends talk about it, and he was like, "I trust you. Can we do this?" And that's how it happened. I've never known him to ever be with a guy. I've known him for a lot of years, and he is still married. They've been married for probably about 15 years. But I don't think that it's gay.
Anyway, back to the Don. I had asked you a question. I need you to answer my question, please. Thank you.
Oh, what was the question? I didn't hear you ask him a question. What was it?
Hold on, I didn't even hear the damn question.
I asked the Don, he was talking about pegging because he didn't know what a pegger was, but he said that he likes to be pegged. But I was like, okay, you ain't been pegged, you've been fucked. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, so my experience with the whole pegging thing with the woman and all that stuff was I'm just gonna keep it real. It was a couple. My friend, this girl, a girl with I'm not gonna say her name, but I mean she wouldn't care because she's like a lot like you. Like she's very sexually free. Her family was like that. All of her sisters in school, they're all bisexual. You know what I mean? They date girls, guys, whatever. And they were all she just since like 8th grade, she would just have like open conversations about stuff, not like a slutty kind of way or nothing. She was just like sex meant nothing to her. It wasn't like a woo kind of a thing. And I always admired that about her. And then we got older. We're high school together, college, and so we were probably like maybe like 22, 23, like just out of college. And kind of just like she had a house, she had this new boyfriend, they had a kid, like, and she would have these house parties, and so we'd be connected and we'd party. And she was real freaky, and she had with toys. She was trying to get him into toys. So she was like, and she kind of wanted to see something happen. She was trying to get like a whole little group thing going or whatever. And I was just like, don't know, whatever. We fucked around one night and she was trying to like get him into it. So the whole thing was like, I was there and it was a toy and she just used that. And he was in there and we had a great time. That's all I'm gonna say. But it was me being like, oh yeah, I would never think to do that. I didn't go over there with intention to do that, but we were in a situation and I was like, I'm down. And so it was dope. And then I have had I have hooked up with like, some like lesbian, like stud lesbians. It never got that far, but it's just something about just like hardcore female energy that I really appreciate. I'm not really into like the damsel in distress thing. I can appreciate that. It's cute. It's here for a moment. You know what I mean? Once a month on Pornhub, I'll go to one of those. But most of the time, I like people that are like, let's do this. What you want to do? Let's have some fun. So that's it. I hope that makes sense. It wasn't like
it does.
It
makes absolute sense. Thank you.
You actually just reminded me that I had.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
You good? Jug Gaxy's laid something, man. I know you want to add. They've been on your head all night. I know you want to
say.
For every podcast, y'all, I just want to ask y'all this, just because y'all bother me so much. Do y'all eat groceries and throw legs back on a regular basis? Mm-hmm. And how did that cover? And then hold on. Now let's sit there and listen to y'all. Now hold up.
I'm just trying to get clarity. I'm sorry.
No, so wait, what was your clarity? What did you need to know?
I was asking if you were asking the women or the men or everybody.
I was asking the ladies.
Okay.
It's like y'all, ask men to put their legs back, or do they request to have their legs put back? Do y'all eat groceries on a regular basis? Do y'all enjoy it? Like, tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? What do y'all like about it?
I have to be honest. My husband is not letting me throw his legs back. He's not doing the captain stance. He's not getting on all fours. He's not doing none of that shit. He is
not
like,
even
fuck
just
you and fuck that.
Billy.
He's not doing any of that. However, in my past life, I was telling people I'm gonna toss your salad.
Okay.
You welcome
yesterday.
Okay.
I saw him yesterday.
Okay, don't
did.
Let's go, Tasha. You answer the question.
My answer to that question is, what the fuck was the question?
Do you toss salads on a
regular basis? No, I've done it 3 times in my entire life to 3 different people. I'll say in my entire life. So no, never to like random motherfuckers. No, and I like when I do it. Maybe it is. I mean, because it's somebody I'm comfortable with when I'm doing it. But I absolutely love the control factor of how he bitches up in that process. If I can say that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I see.
However, I will say, because not to make y'all seem like it ain't no different than me sucking his dick.
Thank you.
It's the same effect. That's why I get pleasure. I actually get wet from giving head because of the reactions that I get from pleasing him.
The man. Yeah.
Power.
You know, and it's no different. It's no different with tossing salads with, you know, those people that I have done it with. So
yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I love tossing salad, but I'm not gonna toss everybody's salad. It's just not gonna happen. It's not. Women have a higher chance than men. But I will toss a salad, and I honestly have. It's just nothing. I mean, it's just nothing to me. And who I date, you know, no one has ever asked me like, "Hey, can you toss my salad?" Never happened. I just just do it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just gonna do it. Like, and then I can tell your reaction whether or not you like it or not, or if you're enjoying it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when someone's not enjoying it, they're a little squeamish. You know what I'm saying? But just like when a guy is eating pussy or a girl is eating pussy, and you have somebody that's kind of, you know, crawling away from you, you can lock a dude down and be able to get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can lock him down.
Sorry.
You can lock them legs down and get in there and do what you need to do. I mean,
right, but that goes back to being able to read your partner. You don't want to lock a motherfucker down if they're not enjoying that shit.
Yeah,
I got it.
That's
you gotta read that
first. You can tell when they're enjoying it or not, and then you can lock them down because you can tell because dudes don't ever want to admit that they like it. Their ass licked. They don't want to admit that because
it's never going to be a conversation about it.
It's never going to be.
It just happens.
It
starts with sucking dick.
Yes, and men don't want to, and nobody wants to be considered gay. So, oh my God, if you look, it's gay. Everything is
if
gay.
I like it, I'm gay.
If she gets to the gooch, it's over.
Yes, if she licks your gooch, she done licked your ass.
You might as well keep on going at that point. That's the test.
Yep.
Gucci, when she gets to the gooch, the nuts, the gooch, and then it's a wrap. Once she gets to the gooch, if he lets you make it to the gooch,
wait, real
if
quick.
he's enjoying that, he pretty much start tooting it up at that point.
He gonna toot it. He gonna toot it, but he gonna toot it.
He starts tooting it up at that point. Look, he put his hand in his jaw. He know. He been there. Y'all see Jack down there. He don't want to.
I've been calling him out all night. I was gonna let him be. I was gonna let that man live
real close.
To what?
Living on the edge.
It just makes me so happy that y'all use the word. I feel like that was an old school term that I used to use back in the day. That makes me very happy.
You want to let somebody lick your gooch, Juggy?
Huh?
You want to let somebody lick your gooch?
Damn.
My wife?
She done.
She been there.
I mean, what answer were you expecting? Like, I mean, I have a second question for y'all ladies, though.
Please.
What characteristics or things that are said or done push y'all in the mindset where y'all want to be more sexually open with the man?
Oh, damn, Jug, you read my mind.
It's just trust. No one's gonna be open to you, period, if they don't trust you. Their connection is not that they don't trust you.
That's a good question.
And then their vulnerability, a man's vulnerability. I think that's super. I mean,
that's important.
Being vulnerable, yes.
Yeah, transparency. That's the biggest. That's the biggest thing.
Trust, vulnerability, all those things.
Okay.
And alcohol. I'm just like.
I felt that coming. I knew it was inevitable.
Oh shit!
Y'all got something else y'all want to ask the men since y'all got 3 men on the podcast?
I got plenty of questions. Ebony, have you asked a question yet?
Hey, I have to admit, I did no homework. I came straight
from work. I got a lot of questions, so I got whatever y'all want.
I got all the damn questions.
Yeah,
fellas, we
I said I wasn't gonna have time to do homework, but then it got really slow at work, and I went to
I was gonna say them shits look like they've written on tickets.
I went to 305 Live. Hey, y'all know 305 Live do questions every day, so I just went to 305 Live and wrote doing questions, right?
Okay, so, what you got? Cause there's some good questions. You asked some.
Yeah, they some good questions. If she got a whole stack of them.
Like a paralegal.
What does submissive mean to you, and should it apply to men as well?
Ooh.
Don?
Yes, it should apply to men as well. It should apply to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What is submission to me? I think submission is just. I'm not going to use the vulnerability words. We've worn that out. So
But it's the truth, though.
It's submission is like, I would say, security in who you are and who you are in this relationship. So or situationship or whatever the fuck we're doing. You know what I mean? So like if you're like when a man is going down on, anybody's, eating a woman out of whatever, Jocelyn salad or whatever, you are like submitting to that person. You know what I mean? Like you're the vulnerable person. Like you're using your mouth to, you know what I mean? You're trying to please this person, whatever. Like I just think, but everything is so ego driven and ego based. But when you're submitting, you are doing whatever it takes to, you're not thinking about yourself. You want this person, you want to please this person, you want to please them. And I think that there's this whole, like I said, goes back to the damsel in distress thing. Like that's like I guess, I don't know, forced in our culture, the Disney princess thing, where like women should be frail and, whisked away by a man. And then we like, women that are like hardcore, like fabulous sexuality, like demonize them, the Megan Thee Stallions of the world, the Lil Kims, you know what I mean? That I just think it's like the same way you want women to be submissive, men need to be that way too. It's a two-way street. I don't believe necessarily in gender. I'm not gonna say gender roles because gender is a thing. I'm not gonna say, oh, gender is not real. But as far as the roles of gender, I think that is a construct. I think there is a balance. I think there's some women that are more masculine. I think there's some men that are more feminine. It doesn't mean that they're gay. I know some very feminine men. You look, you go, they've been married for years to a woman. Like people can't help their affectations, where they grew up, their culture, just who they are. But it doesn't have anything to do with their sexuality. So I don't know. I think it's beautiful when a couple is fully vulnerable with each other and they both can submit in either kind of way and not feel like they're giving something up of themselves to do that. I think I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna stop.
So
good, bro.
So my answer is being humble. Humble and open are the words that I'm going to use. So because I can't use the word we've been using all night. So I'm going to say humbling yourself is what I'm going to say. And now I'm going to leave it at that.
I like that.
Yes. I definitely agree. You definitely got to humble yourself. And also that will tell you a sign if somebody really is really into you. If a man will submit to you, even if he doesn't agree with you, that man really is into you, and you better not fuck it up.
Okay. He said you better not fuck it up.
Because because there's not a lot of men out there who will submit to a woman though. Because a lot of men, they're stuck on that damn ego. They're on that damn ego trip. You know what I'm saying? Because
it's a true statement. Because you can 100% as a male. The thing is, I think men think when they submit, they think they have to submit publicly, and that's not what a woman wants. She doesn't want you to submit publicly. You know what I'm saying? She wants you to be that man that's out there that's strong. She wants that publicly. But when we close the doors of our home, it's okay. It's okay to humble yourself. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to submit yourself to me, even if it's just only in the bedroom, or if it's, it's okay.
And honestly, that's how you know you got the one. If you want to do all that, at the end of the day, that's how you know you got the one. If they want to do all that, because you got some people, they're not willing to submit at anything.
Right.
So I think that, first of all, yes, I do think that men can and should submit. I 100% believe in that. I've seen it happen growing up. I think for me, like, submission is, I think very highly of you. I adore you. I absolutely want to do that without having to have a second thought about it, because you trust that person. You feel secure with that person. You feel deeply loved by that person. So that submission is just natural. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to say, do I really want to? No, it just comes. It's like they ask you to do something, they want to do something, you just do it, and you put your 100% behind it. So that's what I think when I think of submission.
That's real.
Ebony, did you go?
I agree with everything everybody said, and I'm only gonna add giving yourself completely.
Mm-hmm.
When you give yourself completely, then it's easy to submit because you don't even think about it being submitting. You being submissive, you just do.
True.
It's
That's
natural, right?
And
right.
so it is just natural.
I
So
agree.
that's the only thing that
I
I would
agree.
add to that.
Yes.
That's
I
an
agree.
extra comfort level, like when you don't even realize it. And
Right.
that's what people don't even realize. Like, if you've never been at that level of love,
Right.
or I'm not even going to use the word love. If you've never been at that level of regard,
Yes.
Hello.
then
Okay.
it's not even possible for you to be able to submit yourself that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I wrote down some things as you guys were speaking about, what it meant to you. I was just writing down words as they came up, so what it meant for me. And so I know y'all been trying to avoid the word vulnerability, but I think it's very important to be vulnerable to the right people, to the right person. You can't be vulnerable to everybody because everybody's not going to receive that right, or they use your vulnerability against you. But I think you have to be willing to, I think to me, submission means being willing to be vulnerable. It means being able to be, to give what you desire to receive in a relationship or from your partner, consideration, like consider me in the way that you move, in the way that you act, even when I'm not in your presence. I think all of that in a relationship is a part of both parties being submissive. Is consideration. Protection is a part of being submissive. Like as a woman, we like to feel, as women, we like to feel protected. And that means protected from whatever you may or may not be doing in the world. It should never get back to me if you that type of nigga. Protect home. Regardless of what's going on out there. I should never hear the shit that you got going on in the streets. I should feel protected against, no woman should ever feel comfortable enough to dial my number and tell me shit or inbox me about a motherfucking thing, period. So protection in that regard, protection in our finances and just feeling safe. And catering as far as a woman being submissive to a man and a man being submissive to his woman, catering to each other. You should know if you're in a relationship, a serious relationship, what each other like, after a long day. And catering doesn't take a whole lot. Like little things can mean so much. A foot rub while you're sitting on the couch watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Let me run your bath water for you. Simple things. Simple things. Intimate, touching. You put your feet on me while we watching TV. That means a lot, And
I hate feet. But
put some socks on and you'll be all right.
He can do whatever and it doesn't bother me, but anybody else, I be ready to fucking fight you. My grandchildren know don't fucking put your feet on me. Like,
but y'all love him because you love him.
That's how you can tell if a motherfucker if you really into somebody. Like, look, if it's something I hate, but I'm allowing it for you. But ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the last call. Last call for shenanigans, y'all.
Last call for shenanigans.
Because guess what, y'all? Last call for shenanigans.
I feel like I was very vulnerable with my stories. I want to hear Vic and Jud give us a little bit more juice than what I had to give just now. I'm just saying.
I mean,
about what?
Anything.
One question. I have to ask it, fellas. Do you know your stroke number?
The what?
Stroke number?
You mean sitting there and counting?
Like how long it takes to be done?
That means no, you don't. We can move on. The next time we visit, you should know your stroke number. It means,
I'm sure that the judge is probably
I'm not saying know your exact number, but you have a guesstimate.
Judge is 6.
How many strokes you only got 6?
I love the assumptions. Because you know what they say
Y'all
about
just
something to make an ass out of you and me.
because he's married.
Listen.
Goddamn,
Have you guys ever saw the Cat Williams show where he talks about knowing your stroke number? Like you on your way to your woman's house, you know you're going to fuck. You jack off on the way, get that first quick one out the way. That way you know you got some longevity when you get there. Do you know your stroke number?
And women need to do the same shit too. You need to make sure you masturbate before you go. That's why y'all be fucking too many.
I think there's more than one way to skin a cat.
what?
And
It's 6.
Like you can give me head and I'm 3 months. We can fuck all night and I'm gonna keep coming. Like I don't give up. Like it don't. I can come and I don't stop. So that I guess it's different for everybody.
Shari,
Let me also tell you something.
Judge
Let me tell you
talking about
something
it's
too.
more than one way to skin a cat. I said it's definitely 6.
He said his stroke number was 6. I was like, damn, only 6.
Yeah, no.
Wait, listen, there
Emily
is
said
more
stroke
than
number
one way to
6.
skin a cat for sure. But
I feel like the Don knows his stroke number.
absolutely.
I
But
don't think I've ever been concerned with that.
Listen, I be so focused on her. I don't keep count. I be so focused when I'm in. I'm just.
Okay, so then
that's
how
not a
many
concern,
minutes?
like, bro.
You
Like that
may
sounds
not
like a
know your
juvenile
stroke
thing
number,
to
but
me.
how many minutes then?
Nobody.
How many
Who the hell
minutes?
keeps the damn timer on the damn shit? You know?
Do you jack off, Victor? Do you jack off? Do you self-pleasure?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay, start counting so you can know your stroke number the next time we visit.
If you don't know the number,
I just don't understand the point. Like if the other person, look, the end result is the most important thing. If the other person is fully satisfied, great. If the other person is not satisfied, then you find out why they're not satisfied. But as far as sitting there counting strokes and stuff like that, everybody don't need to do that.
Y'all are being way too technical with the numbers.
Yes.
It's really not that fucking technical.
That's why I said note the time.
No, bro, moment.
After 15 minutes, I'm done.
After 15 minutes.
I feel like 30 minutes is like appropriate.
15 minutes.
Okay,
I
there you
know.
go, Don. That's what I'm saying. Get off of the 114.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my point was gonna be this though. Here's the thing.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I can't even read what that
Do
says.
you literally sit there and count every ass pump? That's not what we're saying.
So then what are you saying?
I have a question.
He said, so what are you saying?
I have a question. Have
Never
you
mind.
looked at the
I'll
clock
retract
and
the
it's
question.
been 10:25 when you started, and when you ended, it was still 10:25.
Oh no, that ain't no problem. In the words of Uncle Shannon Sharp, that ain't no problem.
Listen, I'm so caught up in the woman that we don't look at the damn clock. Who the hell looks at the damn clock? I'm so caught up. When you are into somebody, you don't even look at the damn time.
You have an internal clock, Dick. You know what
Stop
your
this
Dick,
now.
everybody on the
Stop
show, I
this.
know you know what your motherfucking number is.
Because I like Big, his number is 8.
Ladies,
And Judge is
ladies
6.
naturally unbothered.
The Don, you probably like it 20.
It's what he's not saying that I'm listening to.
Oh, okay.
What? Well, I didn't hear what happened.
I hear what they're not saying.
20.
Okay.
Judge is 6.
She hear what we
Look, I don't know what type of
I'm not saying nothing.
inductive logic you trying to pull, but listen, the stroke count don't mean nothing to me.
Take him to
Is
school real quick.
she satisfied? That's all that mattered to me. Do I do what she like? I do everything that she like. All that other stuff that y'all talking about, I don't need all that. See, that's the thing.
You don't need
when you get married, hold on, let me talk on my stuff. Let me talk on my situation. I don't let y'all go on the whole show, you dig? I don't let y'all go on the whole show, you dig? Now I'm gonna talk about my situation.
How old is your wife?
No. Hold up, smash that, put that to the side, put that in the container in the fridge. Let me talk about this right here. See, when y'all on some next level.
Some new shit about your wife, and you are gonna be mind blown. You're gonna be mind fucked when you figure out about your wife.
I just have a question.
What's going on, goddammit? All right. Juggy was making a point. All right, Juggy, make your damn point. Come on,
Juggy
Juggy.
points be like Bueller.
Yeah, check this out. I don't care. I don't give a rat's posterior anatomy about no damn stroke count. I am concerned about the finished product. Is that person that feel good? Did they fully satisfied? Did I do what they like? Did I not do what they like? That's been talked about. All that other stuff, I don't care about all them other details. I don't need that. But I appreciate the concern, though. I do appreciate it.
That's what you're not hearing. You're not hearing.
Whoa. One person at a time, ladies. One lady at a time, ladies. Okay. What?
TD Jakes, what city are you going to be in next?
Damn, Judge.
Oh my God.
City Jakes.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Oh, shit.
I am dead.
Fun.
I just signed up for this.
We always have the best times when we get to take over your podcast.
Too much fun.
Love it.
Now y'all gotta let the fellas come on y'all podcast now, shit, because this
Absolutely.
Of course. Come on.
Jackie don't want to come over there because he gonna be over there like this.
Y'all don't know what I do when I come on your podcast. Look. Y'all must not know. Y'all gotta look me up on my archives. I got some good shit out there. Don't worry about me.
Hey, I hope y'all want to have me back.
When we have a good, wholesome Christian show, we gonna invite you.
Darn Skippy.
All right.
Because he said a rat's posterior.
All right. Last question.
Hey, I gotta represent myself and my squad. What you mean?
That's right.
I don't give
That's
a
right.
Squad. All right. Last question. This one for everybody. What can somebody do to prevent bad sex? What's one thing somebody can do to prevent bad sex?
Avoid Jug at all costs.
Do it your motherfucking self.
Yes. That's it.
Oh my God.
If you don't know yourself enough to have great sex with yourself, then you don't need to be fucking other people. Exactly.
So yeah.
So do it yourself.
Do it your fucking self.
Anything want to add?
I just feel like you have to know, right?
You gotta know. But go ahead, Juggy.
I'm good over here, man. I done answered everything. I done got to know these ladies. They had a lot of interesting questions. Yo, we straight. I call it a draw in my book.
Pastor, you gonna say the prayer to let us out tonight?
The benediction.
Is there one? Is there one?
Touch your neighbor. Touch your neighbor right now. Touch your neighbor right now.
Touch your neighbor right now.
You can't touch people. You can't touch people. All women that live COVID.
Sound like an urgent
just
song.
look at your neighbor. Just look at your neighbor.
Shake your neighbor's hand, damn it. Shake your neighbor's hand. No, hold on. Take a shot. Take a shot with your neighbor if you made it to this part. We ain't never gone 2 hours. So if you done made it all 2 hours, take a fucking shot with your neighbor. Because
please do.
We done had the ladies of the natural unbothered on, and we done wild out for 2 hours. I think this might be the longest Liquor Talk episode ever, y'all.
You know, we always taking you out your comfort zone, Vic, but we enjoy it.
We all
they've been sweating bullets all night.
I'm happy y'all take me comfort zone. I don't know about Don and Juggy, but
Vic and
I'm straight.
Back
I'm relaxed. I'm back. I'm laid back with my mind on my money, my mind. I'm good.
On the wrong shit.
She said you're gonna let us out for the benediction, Pastor. That was funny. That's hilarious.
Hey, from here on out,
get into it.
It's Deacon Juggy.
Deacon Juggy.
I rebuke that in the name of the Lord. I rebuke it. Rebuke.
Pastor,
get me away from me, Satan.
Pastor,
get me away from me, Satan. I will sprinkle holy water on all three of y'all. Holy Trinity. I will sprinkle holy water on y'all, the Trinity.
As
that's confirmation. Confirmation.
And can you imagine we had invited them to
you gonna take us out with a hymn?
Bro, it would be crazy.
Take this out with him. Oh, let's go. Let's go, Ebony. Let's go. Come on, sister. Let's go. Let's do it.
I'm going up and yonder.
Listen, y'all gotta pull up in Florida, man.
We ain't trying to sing on Negro spirituals out there. We ain't trying to sing on Negro spirituals. This ain't South Carolina.
I'm going
Oh, damn, I gotta be South Carolina. Oh, this ain't so
to
crazy.
be with my Lord.
This ain't Biloxi.
Biloxi?
Mm-hmm.
You in Biloxi?
No, he said Biloxi, not Biloxi. Biloxi.
Whatever you know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's where you at?
That's not where I'm at. I'm in Florida.
I think
I got the Florida water.
soon between Shari and Dom. We gotta there's a plug meet up. Plug
Hey,
meet
I'm gonna be
happen.
in Florida all of July,
I'm in Orlando.
in Pensacola.
You in Orlando?
Hey, there ain't shit to do in Pensacola.
Don B run Orlando. What y'all
Damn
mean?
it, I'm working. And if he want to get pegged the right way, I got him. I'm gonna let my dude know after this. I got a pegging partner real quick. He gonna be like, baby.
Jug said there's some revivals going on in Orlando that he running.
Shari, did y'all hear me say? Don reminded me that I actually plugged the couple. I didn't know it was called that,
You
but
said that, but it's okay. I want to talk about it on the
we're
show.
gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we're
Like
gonna
me.
talk about it on Naturally
Let's
Unbothered.
unpack it on our show.
Hey,
We already talked about it before. It's the one threesome I had,
I
but
know
that happened.
But we gonna unpack it.
I want to know that. I want to hear it.
shit, I want.
we
Yeah,
gonna be on the
hey,
show.
me and Don might have to pull up the Natural Unbothered to hear this.
I got you, the Don. I got you.
Orlando. We got a whole studio. We got plenty of space.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Plenty of space, my ass.
Motherfucker tonight.
Oh man.
But listen,
We're
y'all.
going to Australia.
I want to thank y'all for coming on the Naturally Unbothered Invaded, the men's only round, fellas. I hope this was lighthearted and fun because I know last couple ones we were getting really deep and really serious.
We was getting deep.
We did.
Yeah, we be in our feelings, y'all.
It's
We
okay.
really do. I hope y'all can appreciate men that be in their
Bless
feelings.
your heart.
Therapy.
Bless.
Therapy.
It's good stuff.
Therapy.
It
All right,
is.
where can the people find
Let me
y'all at?
sage y'all so y'all can get
Y'all can find us at naturallyunbothered.com or Naturally Unbothered Podcast on all social media. We are on every outlet. You can get our merchandise. We got
Audible,
t-shirts,
iHeart,
shot glasses. We're on Audible, iHeart. We on everything.
Tell me again.
naturallyunbothered.com for merch and where we're going, what we're doing, and naturallyunbothered2@gmail.com. We do questions and requests and advice and everything.
Become an Ebonite.
That's right. And you can ask us any sex question, anything you want to know on Naturally Unbothered. #2@gmail.com, or you can just go on the website. If you go on the website, naturallyunbothered.com, you can click on it. It says ask Ebony some fucking questions. Ebonites. Like you just click it, type in your question. If you don't want to give your email address and your name, you don't have to. It'll still send to us. We'll talk about it on the show. We have
and I might or may not say your name. So if you don't want your name said, you better
All right,
put
ladies.
something else.
All right, ladies, listen. Y'all gotta have me, Don Juggy, on again. We gotta do part 2 on Natural Unbothered, man, because this
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to do 21
down.
questions with your others.
I'm
We've
down.
done it with you, Vic, but we're gonna have to do it with the others as well. We'll do a 21 questions with y'all. Y'all can be on the show for that.
Yeah.
Let's
so-
finish.
There's only
Let's
one
finish.
thing. There's one thing I need for y'all to do. Vic, the Don, and Jug. I need y'all to do one thing. Tell your whole ass friends to tune in to Naturally Unbothered, baby.
You better tell them.
we got you.
You better tell them.
Wait,
We
time
got you.
out, Ebony. You gotta tell your sanctified friends, Juggy, to tune in to
Oh
Naturally.
yeah, please put hands on your friends.
Pass the Lord around.
Put the
Pass the Lord
hands
around.
on your friends.
Amen, sister.
Sorry, man.
Amen, sister.
Sorry.
I need y'all to make sure
Lord
y'all
bless
invite
you.
us on the
Bless
next
you,
time.
sis.
I
Bless you.
Tell the hoes in the pulpit and the hoes in the choir stand.
Listen,
The whole
Tell them that I am
Lord.
delivered.
And the hoes on the beauty committee.
Tell that hoe that's working the nursery.
Tell all the hoes, Pastor. Tell all the hoes. Tell the hoes that work in the parking lot. Tell the hoes that are on the communion trays. Tell the hoes that are on the collection plate. Pastor, tell the hoes.
Listen, Shari, Tasha, Mrs. to all three, all your ladies. All three of us might be employed. Y'all ready to have us? We just a DM away. We ready to
We got you. And it ain't gonna be no year before we get you again, or 6 months, 8 months.
It won't be. It'll be sooner than that.
It's gonna be.
This was fun, y'all. Thank you guys for having us.
I would like for it to be later than that, so I can find out about Juggy's wife getting his groceries.
Yeah,
what you do?
Investigations. Yes, we have to investigate.
You shouldn't even hang up.
What homework should we give them?
We need to have her on the show. She needs to speak her side.
No, we need to give them some homework. Juggy, your homework is to lick an ass or get your ass licked. That's your homework. We ain't even counting you,
girl.
So,
hey, what is this grade school? That's already
nutty professor.
You need some fucking homework. Trust me, Deacon.
Lord have mercy.
Sorry.
Yes.
The lie detector has determined that shit has already been done. He just ain't talking about it.
Let me drink some of this baptism water from these unsanctified heathens.
He drinking
the water from that man that be on TV.
Holy water.
$45 water.
Holy water.
Holy water.
Okay.
Holy water.
Oh my God.
Holy water. Because hoe is life.
WHOLE water.
Hoe is life.
Whole.
Drink the holy water.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all drunk all your liquor and y'all have enjoyed this episode. This has been the Men's All Around, invaded by the ladies for the second time ever. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Until the next time, we out this motherfucker. Good night.
Fuck the fat one.
Yeah.